welcome to the family Braham. My name is Rena, and I'm the mommy, brand new mommy. If you, we talk in this channel, we focus on family, love, relationship, vlogs, and all lots of little things, and most importantly, fun and just enjoying our life and sharing. So if you like this type of content, please do give us a like, share, subscribe, and most importantly, subscribe. I know you want to, but anyway, so today we're going to be speaking about my experience being induced, which was not so pleasant, and my whole birth experience was hella painful, hella painful. So anyway, but so this is why I'll just take you through the journey. So we opted for an elective induction, and my induction was at 38 weeks and 3 days to be exact. So it went well, and this is us when we got in. Afterwards, after that, the nurse and the doctors came in to put the pestering in. The nurse actually put the midwife puts the pestering inside my up there, and that was quite okay, to be honest. I just had to take a deep breath, and it was, and no problem. So the pestering, what it normally does, it just creates the hormones that normally causes you to have the cervix open and your water to break, right? So that was absolutely fine for the first 3 hours. And then after the monitoring, the nurse came, the midwife, sorry if I keep on saying nurse, but it's the midwife. The midwife came in and told me basically that with the monitoring is that my the baby and the contractions were getting too much. So instead of it slowly causing me to contract so that my cervix can open, it became quite rapid. But to be honest, those beginnings contraction didn't hurt. Didn't hurt as much as anyway. So after another 3 hours of monitoring, what happened was that the nurse came with the doctors and advised me it would be better if they removed the pestering and then insert something less chemically involved, because my body was reacting bad to it. So then they inserted a balloon. Well, it's a
So here the midwife and the doctor that was taking care of me was just prepping so that they could actually put the balloon inside, because I've already been in labor.
Inserted a balloon. Well, it's a looks like that. So the balloon at first, it did not to get the balloon inside. Sorry, it was to get the balloon inside was painful because they had to fill it with water, and that hurt it. So they stuck it up my Gucci little, and I opted out for the gas and air to just ease up the pain, at first. Anyway, so that went in, the water was inflated and it's there and growing, right? No problem. Went about my night anyway, and that was absolutely fine. And then the next morning, which is us now, my water had broken. So it was around 11 a.m. So this is day 2 now that my water had broke. So first of all, I don't know if it was just me, but it took way longer for the nurses to come get me out, because at that moment they told me not to move much, and I had a catheter on inside, a little setup, so that my pee can drain basically. Anyway, so I was not able to move out of that place for at least 30 minutes until the midwife came and removed the sheets and then put on my pads and everything, because the water kept on trickling. So that process was okay, and they had to remove the balloon, and that's another reason why I couldn't really stand up and just go about cleaning myself. So I had to stay there with that balloon still inside for like another 30 minutes after my water had been broken, just for them to come and remove it. Okay, and that was okay. That morning, and later on the day they advised me to go about walking, so I kept on walking around. It was fine and everything. And then in the evening they came around again, the midwife came around, so this time was to check how far dilated I was. And by I think 6 o'clock ish was I was about 2 centimeters dilated, which I was like, I was so happy to hear that. Even though I was in pain, it wasn't bad pain, it was just okay. It was period cramp. This was period cramp stages. Okay, and the time passed and everything, and my partner and I were just walking, and it's just a long process. The whole thing is just long. But anyway, and afterwards we had around 3, so this is time it's past 3 a.m. in the morning, same day, they came and they checked me again. I was about 4 centimeters dilated, and you know, by that time I was in the normal where everyone gets induced, basically where everyone gets started, and then I moved to the labor ward after my 4 centimeter dilation, and that was in the evening. So around 2ish a.m. in the morning, my midwife, now they gave me my personal midwife, and I was in my own room and everything, came and with the anesthesiologist, because I wanted an epidural, because I thought the epidural will actually help me, but no, 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 no. Anyway, so the anesthesiologist came in and made me sign a paper to get the epidural. Okay, and she started. I don't know if it was just me that she couldn't see properly, but she tried it 3 times. So the second time, the first time she couldn't like get me to sit still, because it was painful. You know, the tapping of your spine. Even though she put numbing liquid, for some reason in my body, it just didn't work. Anyway, so the second time she tried, and she was like, I can't still find the place to put it, and you're still fidgety. And I was like, I'm not. But anyway, so I had to take a bit of gas and air to basically make me hide. You know, I took a few gas and air puffs, and then I started literally holding on to my midwife, and then she finally managed to, you know, get the proper place to put the epidural. There is where all my problems started. I don't know if like, I think my body just reacts differently to external chemicals, because after the epidural was placed on, the first hour I'm good, you know, not too painful or anything. Second hour, not too painful, you know, I'm like, I'm fine. And I was able to sleep because it was already 3 o'clock ish in the morning. But in around 6 or so a.m., you know, in the evening still, I started having headaches. That started with the headache, and I was okay. I started shivering a bit. I was like, okay, no problem. You know, we can deal with that. And mind you, by this time my water has broken past like 10 hours already. I think, I'm not sure, 10-13 hours to be exact. My water had been already broken, so the process had started. So I started shaking and not feeling too well. And then the morning came, and I thought that I would feel better. Well, the sun came out, and I thought would feel any better on the third day. Now this is the third day that we've been doing this induction process. And I wasn't still feeling better. I started getting worse, and the worst thing is that with the epidural, you can't really stand up and move. So not only did it cause my like me dilating, it took much harder because my body's not doing it naturally, right? And already that we were doing this induction, so my body wasn't ready, so to say, to give birth yet. So we were forcing it in a way. Anyway, so in the afternoon, in that whole morning, I just felt sick. I threw up, and around 11 a.m. that's when the doctors came to check how far I was dilated, because my temperature was high, the baby's heartbeat was all over the place, like she was at 170, 180 heartbeat per minute, and it was just stressful. So at around 11 a.m. the doctor came and checked, and I was only 6 centimeters dilated. Mind you, my disappointment, I was so disappointed. You know? So after being only 6 centimeters dilated, the doctor was like, okay, now that I've been in labor for so long, and past that, it's been already 24 hours that I've been in labor since my water had broken. You know, obviously the longer you stay with your water broken and nothing's been done, the higher the risk is of infections and so forth. So then the dreaded conversation happened, and the doctor was like, because of the stress that's happening with your baby and the fact that you've been in this position for more than 24 hours, now we need to talk about the C word. Yes, so the C-section. And obviously throughout our pregnancy, wanted to do it normally, you know, like so that we have a better chance of having multiples afterwards. But anyway, and once we had that conversation, I was stressed out. I was so stressed out. I was scared. I felt guilty. I was like, why did I do this to myself? Why did I, you know, choose to play God in a way? You know, it's like, this is my punishment. It was just a whole lot of emotion. So at around 11:30, once the doctor finished, he gave us about 30 minutes to think about what we wanted to do, if we wanted to go forward with the C-section. At 11:30, when the doctor came in and he asked us what we wanted to do, we asked him to give us another 2 hours to just, you know, see if anything comes along. And within that 2 hours that they gave us, I prayed, I cried, I went numb. Like, I stopped, actually, because with the epidural you can pump it by yourself. I stopped pumping it. I'll just take this thing out of me, because in my head I felt that the epidural actually caused this. In a way it actually did, but it caused this. And it was just, I caused this upon myself. So I was really upset. But then I commend my midwife. She was an amazing, amazing lady. So I just sat there with my partner. We just there with my partner, and we were praying. He was trying to comfort me and read to me. Everything. I was in my head. I was talking. So at this time, like, all my religious practices came to me. So I started speaking to, because I'm Catholic and we believe in the Virgin Mary. So I started speaking to the Virgin Mary, and knowing that I was having a girl, I was like, I gave you this girl, like, just see me through it. Yeah, it was just very stressful 2 hours. And I was still shaking. And then at the end of the 2 hours, when the doctors came back, I then calmed down. I prepared myself mentally of the thing was about to happen. And afterwards, we did. So we had an emergency C-section, and it was quick. To be honest, it was so quick. Within the moment we went in, and they scrubbed me in and like made sure that I was numb enough, so they added more fluid to the epidural that I had and everything. After I became numb, everyone was prepped, and within 30 minutes, the baby was out. She was all checked out, and she started crying, which I was like, yay, making a huge noise. And then she's cute family moment. Yes. And then she came to my chest. I did not want to do skin to skin, and that was partly because I was afraid, and I had just a lot of emotions at that time, so I did not want to do skin to skin. But my husband did come with her near me. Thank God she didn't need any like intervention or anything. Everything was fine with her. And then I was sewed up and all the way high, in pain. Well, not in pain, just high. And then they put us back in the place where we had to stay for a few days so we can heal. So the nurses say that I had an infection from where, I don't know. That's why I started shaking and had that reaction. And so I went on antibiotics, and they also did one for my baby, just because of prevention, to see that nothing came to her. But yeah, that is my, so in all, I think for me personally, I don't know about you guys, and if anyone has a story similar to this with the epidural and the process of induction, please do let me know in the comments down below and how you dealt with it. So for me, I believe personally the pain and the process of my labor was delayed because I got the epidural. And in terms of induction, because when my baby came out, she was big, but she wasn't huge, nor was she, that I couldn't push her. She was just slightly chubby, and she was much long, like she's a much taller baby. And mind you, my husband is 6'1" and I'm 5'7", so we are quite tall people. We didn't take that into consideration, so that made her seem bigger than normal. And to just know that it's going in the future, I definitely know that for me the epidural is not for me. Not again. Ever again am I gonna take the epidural. And I would rather stay with gas and air, to be honest, because gas and air was quite helpful. Very, very helpful in terms of pain relief. Gas and air did the trick. But with gas and air, you can still walk around. That's what is really beneficial about gas and air. And then in terms of induction, unless it is medically absolutely unavoidable for me, I would not do an induction ever again, just because there is a higher risk of C-section, and there's so many things that can go wrong, and so many things that can, thank God, did go right. But those, with the experience I've had, those two things is just something that I will not do. And if anyone else wants to do, and kudos to you, you're a stronger woman than I am, but nah, that's just not for me. Yeah, so that's my little story about my birth. But we are here with my bundle of noise, and we are so much happier. Anyway, so thank you guys for watching this video. I know I've mumbled a bit, I'm not the greatest storyteller, but anyway, Thank you guys for watching this video, and I really appreciate it. If you resonate with anything that I've said, or if you had a similar experience, please do give me a like, and share your story with me by just leaving a comment down below. And if you're a new mommy or a daddy, and how you experienced your induction, your family's induction, or even delivery, please give me a comment down below. And most importantly, remember to subscribe. And we say thank you and see you in another video. Bye.